Welcome back to Fire Emblem The Sacred Stones. Last time, we reclaimed Renee's, got Erica and Ephraim promoted, and fought a very creepy yet also tragic boss. This time, like I said last time, I'm not going to be spoiling what's going to happen next because, yeah, but first, we finally get Renee's castle linked up with Border Mulan, our first destination. And our next destination is to the east of Johanna Hall, on our way to Ralston. It's the Narub River. But yeah, I like how things have come full circle. We actually finally have the original path that we took at the very start of the game. Oh, we also have a new map theme. I think this song actually sounds pretty awesome. I didn't really realize it at first, because I didn't spend much time on these maps originally, but this part of the song in particular just has this really epic finale feel to it. Now, one thing that I wanted to do before entering this next chapter is to sell a bunch of weapons that I don't need anymore. So I'm going to use Kyle for that, I guess. I just have... You might notice I'm getting close to running out of inventory space, so might as well sell all this stuff. Get some of the clutter out of the way. I just got rid of the awesome music. Anyway, I'll see you back here after I've sold most of this stuff. You know, I don't think I need all of these extra door and chest keys. You already get plenty of them in the chapters that require them, so yeah, might as well go ahead and sell those. And that actually wasn't as much as I thought it would be. I expected that would thin down the inventory a lot, but it really didn't. I've still got a lot of items in here. So, let's see. Ephraim, I think, is actually fine on items. You, I think you're also pretty much fine. Joshua should be fine for a little while longer. Ross... I think Ross is mostly okay. Amelia could do with some more stuff, though. Don't really want to use that other kill lance now. Maybe let's take that javelin. I think Tana's also fine for now. There is the Divine Tome I could be giving to Natasha, but that's very, very heavy. Oh, right, that's it. I wanted to give you a sword. Although I don't really want to give you the armor. Although this is ironic if you could actually use that. I may have to buy a steel sword for you. Or, see, I like Rennek having the ability to attack. Sometimes you never know when that might be useful, but... might as well swap that over to Cormag. I'm going to be using Rennek in this next chapter, though I don't think he's going to be fighting very much. There's just one item that I want to steal. Also, Metis' Tome. I completely forgot I had that. I'm going to go ahead and give that to Lute just because she's been getting kind of screwed so far. I know it doesn't really do very much, but it's better than nothing, and she is level 1 promoted, so she'll probably get the most use out of this. Maturity increased! Yeah, a lot of people have made fun of that line, but that's apparently the game's word for growth rates. Okay, Natasha probably needs some other stuff. I don't think I need the Silent Staff in there. Actually, let me just try something. Lute can use Mend, and she'll heal a lot of HP with that, so I'm going to go ahead and give her that. One use left, Restore Staff. There's no status in this chapter, so I don't think I need that, and I think that current physic is okay. Here's the thing, though. I have the Warp Staff. As much as I really want to use this just falls under one of these... You know what TV Tropes calls too awesome to use? You probably know that feeling. It's like a very rare item that's insanely good, but you're just afraid to use it because you know that you won't get another one, and you just don't... You want to make sure every one of these uses count, but I guess I can give her that. I mean, I could also hammer it at some point, I guess, if I wanted to. But I might give her that just in case it comes in handy later. And I think that should be okay. Yeah, Erica, I'm actually going to be bringing her to this next chapter just to show off her new promoted class. And also because of other reasons. Let's see. Barrier is at C rank here, so none of my newly promoted mages can use that. You still have your Iron Sword. Oh, and you have a Nosferatu Tome. I might as well give that to How heavy is that? 14. Yeah, that's pretty prohibitive. Even then, though, it might come in handy at least some point. I'm gonna keep Ewan with Flux for now. Okay, I think this is good. So, let's head on out to the Narub River. Yeah, keep stressing that. Something horrible is totally not going to happen. And so, yeah, the game points that out immediately. And this says Erica if you're on Erica's route. This chapter, in terms of its actual cutscenes, doesn't change that much between the two routes. It's only the next one that's really a significant change. And, yep, that sprite's pretty unmistakable. And with a chapter title like this, you know something painful is going to happen. So like I said, this chapter is, like, in terms of story, pretty much the same between both routes. It includes this flashback. Later on, we'll be getting some unique flashbacks depending on which route we're on, and I might want to show off some of those in extra footage, but this flashback is the same regardless of route. Of course it would be, because it's got the ultimate dark entity sealed inside it. Or do even worse than that. Plus one of them has a demon sealed inside it. You know, trying to use that for good is totally going to end well. Yes, perhaps one day he'd allow you to access the thing the Demon King is sealed inside and totally doom the world. I mean, most of the Sacred Stones, that'd be fine. Unfortunately, the one that he's focusing on happens to be the one that, yeah, causes problems that you really don't want to be playing with. And those intentions totally aren't going to get corrupted. It's sad because Leon just wanted to help people, but he kind of chose the wrong thing to use for that purpose. Oh, and of course, say something like this. Yeah, that's not tempting fate at all. Okay. I dread to think what happened to her shortly afterwards, though. See, as nice as that sounds, I get the feeling she may have turned into some kind of horrible abomination a few weeks later. Just be careful when you keep, you know, building up like that. Eventually it leads to things like take over the world or enslave humanity. Ephraim never cared about his studies at all, evidently. I still like seeing these friendship moments between the three of them. I didn't get to say it for the first flashback, but I think they're pretty well written overall. Unfortunately, this is the point where they're starting to become very, very tragic. Especially lines like that. Meanwhile, back in the present, that flashback is totally not ominously forewarning something that's just about to happen. Is it guarded the same way the Stone of Renee's was? Although granted, Grotto only has one major general left. Unfortunately, he's the one with a personal grudge against Ralston, so he's obviously going to go after it. Oh no, you sent green units to help. That's going to end well. Oh, look, a paladin got doubled by... And they don't even bother to show the combats for the others. It's just like, oh yeah, they're green units, they're dead. They don't even bother to show them. Oh, great, send generals to fight magic users. That's a great idea. When playable characters are not leading an army in a Fire Emblem game, you can't trust them at all, ever. But we have a new character here. This late into the game. Fralian Fools. Yeah, that's a good way to refer to them. On your own, you might not be able to do a good job of that, especially with all the flyers in this chapter. So, as you can see, Innes knows her. That's a hint as to how to recruit her. So, we're about to get the reveal that you probably should have already figured out by now. Suddenly, black text boxes. It should be obvious. Yeah, because that's totally going to happen. And at that, we cut straight to the preparation screen. So, first things first, this is a protect the NPCs mission. They're actually just a secondary objective, but of course I want to keep them all alive, and I'd feel horrible if any of them died. This guy's sprite doesn't look like an old man on the map. But yeah, these people are all called river folk. A couple of NPCs we haven't really seen before, like the young boy-child one. And this palette swap girl, who I think, yeah, appeared earlier in Selena's chapter. Obviously not the same person, but anyway. So, the real threat to these NPCs is the flyers. There are a lot of wyvern riders up here. Also, I was wrong, I derped horribly earlier. For some reason, I was convinced this was a monster chapter. My mind thought, oh, you're introduced to the Demon King, of course you're fighting monsters. But no, it's actually just a normal human chapter. That was actually kind of weird. But, anyway, these wyvern riders in particular, this wyvern lord who, on normal, sometimes has worse stats than the normal wyvern riders, but on hard, he seems to be a little bit stronger. Also, that's what the generic wyvern lord portrait looks like. We also have a berserker over here with a battle axe and a stealable dragon shield, which forces me to deploy Rennick in this chapter. Even though I'd kind of like to use some other people, but anyway. A few Silver Lance Paladins here. You might notice the promoted enemies are getting a lot more frequent. These Valkyries have some pretty decent stats. Unfortunately, well, fortunately for us, their tomes are pretty weak. That one does have a stealable elixir, though. Don't think I'm going to be able to get it, though. We also have some heroes over here, including one with something very, very important. A Brave Axe. Now, Brave Weapons are B-ranked in this game, which might freak a lot of people out. Weirdly enough, like, they're insanely good, but I don't find them as broken in this game as they are in some others. I mean, in particular, you might notice the Brave Axe is very, very heavy. The only person who can use this without a penalty is Promoted Garcia and Dosler, I believe. They're also not really all that strong. I mean, they're kind of strong, but yeah, also, a Swordmaster with a killing edge. Obviously, you want to fight this guy with high defense people, like those generals that Freya would have done a better job using against him rather than the magic users. But anyway, there are some druids over here with Luna and Nosferatu. The Luna ones in particular are kind of a threat to this Falcon Knight over here that I'll be talking about soon. We also have this Sage with the Fimbulvetter spell, which is very heavy but quite powerful. And a couple of random mages who finally have some not too terrible stats. Also, these snags, the enemies will break these eventually. Thankfully, the mountains here stop the mages from being an immediate threat to the NPCs, even if they break through this snag. Also, let's show this guy. I really feel like his name should be Leon with a question mark. But, yeah, this is the Darkstone Corrupted Leon, who has his own unique class. And it's pretty powerful, as you can tell by his very high magic stat and pretty good defense. However, Leon does have one weakness. So, they've said that Leon was relatively frail, and as you can see, he only has 7 con. Why is that such a weakness? Well, he's got the Fenrir tome. Incredibly powerful. 18 weight. 18 weight. That combined with his con means that the Demon King, who's all going on about how amazing he is and how humanity is powerless to stop him, effectively has 1 speed. So everyone is going to be able to double him. Yeah. Something that I should mention about this chapter, it's a defeat boss chapter. So, if you do this right, you can actually end this very, very quickly. And there's really no reason to prolong it, because the longer you prolong this, the more danger these NPCs are in. However, this chapter features a lot of promoted enemy reinforcements, so it's actually a great place to level up your characters. Because of this, this is going to be a bit weird how I handle this one. I think I'm going to be staying here and basically grinding out the reinforcements as long as I can, but I might end up speeding up or even cutting ahead, because this chapter gets very boring and repetitive once you get into the reinforcement spam phase. So, yeah. Also, we have Cyrene. I'll be talking about her once we get to her, but she's a pre-promoted Falcon Knight, and at the moment she's all that stands between the NPCs and these druids. And the Lunar Druids are going to be kind of dangerous to her because of her pretty low HP. Because of that, make sure you bring at least Innes, Tana or Vanessa to this chapter. All three of them can recruit Cyrene. Or you can just have her survive the chapter and she'll join automatically, but I'd rather recruit her now. Anyway, in terms of our characters, actually, there's only one change I want to make here. Normally I wouldn't use Rennick, but I kind of have to steal an item. I want to bring Erica here just to show off her new promoted class, and extra mounted units in a chapter where we have to rush and protect NPCs are always helpful. Who do I get rid of for that? The thing is, I want to get Lute some more experience, and she and Ewan are fulfilling pretty much the same role at this point, so I feel like I might be able to safely drop Ewan here. He will miss out on a lot of experience, but the next chapter is also amazing for experience, so that doesn't matter all that much. And with that, I'm going to put Erica here. Formation-wise, I'm going to make sure that my flyers are around here, because what I want to do is I want to intercept the flyers before they get to the NPCs, and of course Cormag's Dragon Spear is going to be very useful for this. Now, it's not necessary that you deal with the heroes across the river just yet, but you might want to deal with them relatively early in the chapter just so they don't become a problem later on. For this, you can use characters who can walk across rivers. Obviously not Ross because they have swords. Speaking of walking across rivers though, a Berserker is great for this sector of the map, for fighting these Silverlance Paladins, and eventually getting on these mountains to have a good vantage point against the Wyverns. I'm also going to send Garrick here, and Lute as well I'm going to have on this side. And Amelia, Erica, and Ephraim will be rushing to plug up this gap here. So, that should be pretty much it, so now it's time to go ahead and save. There's actually one thing that I want to talk about before I just realize I'm probably going to need the silver card. Now, there's actually one thing that I want to discuss before we get into this chapter proper, and that's this vendor right here. This vendor's actually kind of important. This is one of the few cases where a vendor's stock from the world map is worse than what it is during the chapter itself. Namely, if you like Nosferatu, you might want to stock up on it now. You can only buy this during Chapter 17, and not from this map location's world map location, essentially. The only other way to get Nosferatu, even in the post-game, is via a random chest item in the Tower of Valny. So, this is the one guaranteed place to get extra copies of Nosferatu, so I might actually just buy... We're getting that one from the boss anyway, so... And I've already got one on Knoll, so I might as well just buy one. But yeah, I'm just going to show that. So now... Yeah, as you can see, Joshua can go in the water here. The Silver Swords are going to hit him kind of hard, and I want to have Natasha getting to support range. I could warp him over there, but then he'd get hit by all of them. And again, the warp staff suffers from that too awesome to use property. Right, now, Tana is actually going to need to talk to Cyrene, but also Cormag is going to go up here and support... They can't reach. I still really like this song, but you definitely know that already. Now, I might want to break that snag just so that I can actually have Lute contribute to this fight, which might be a good thing because of these Valkyries here. Because Anima does have weapon triangle advantage over Light. Now, destroying this snag should not cause that much of an issue just yet. Because, yeah, this is the one way these enemies can actually attack us. Now, the Valkyries do double Ross, I believe, so gonna want to watch out for that. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and equip the hand axe, actually. Gonna have Garrick back here also with a hand axe. Garrick's hand axe, I've found, is actually going to be very useful in this one. And the support on Ross is also going to be helpful. Hopefully. Right, now... Unfortunately, Erica and Ephraim still only have 7 movement, so the equivalent movement of an unpromoted mounted unit rather than an actually promoted one. So Amelia's going to outpace them for a little bit, but they're going to do their job here pretty well, hopefully. Don't actually know who I'm going to need Tethy's to refresh, so might have her around here just in case. So I might need to refresh some people to kill them. What are you guys doing? I'm a little bit suspicious. I'm worried that they're going to try and go around and to where Cyrene is and try and kill the NPCs that way. Okay, good dodge there. No doubling, but that's fine. I'm mainly equipping the hand axe just so that I can get some extra damage on the Valkyries. And nice dodge there. Crits would be appreciated, but still. Yeah, these druids are kind of the reason why you want to get to Cyrene quickly, because if she gets unlucky, gets hit by both Lunas, she will die. Oh, hi there, I probably should have equipped a Javelin. Should have been paying more attention to movement ranges, and that was actually a pretty lucky dodge, considering true hit. Yeah, I wanted them to go for Ross to get themselves damaged a little bit and potentially criticals. No. And yes, he does get doubled. So I'm going to need to be pretty careful here. And, of course, the NPCs don't do anything. Always check to see whether an NPC is in range of one of these flyers. Ah, you being a berserker, that is annoying. As you can tell, he can go in the water, and that means if I equip Cormac with a lance, obviously will cause some issues. Don't exactly want... Also don't want to provoke him before it's time, because then I might kill him before he can drop his... Well, not drop his... Before I can steal his item. Yeah, you guys do pretty much nothing to Cormag. Their slim lances are normally not a threat, but they are definitely a threat to those NPCs, because they all have non-existent HP and defense stats. How much damage does Tana take? Quite a lot, but she doesn't get hit very easily. Because, yeah, the Wyvern Lord will start moving eventually, too. Can you... 17 times 2 is 30... Oh, you can't kill any of these with a Javelin. But you'd be in range of the Berserker with anyway, even if you did use the Javelin. What do I do here? I want to make sure that some of those Wyvern Riders go ahead and attack Cormag. Okay, doesn't look like Cormag can W at all, so I kind of have to use Tana. That's good, at least I don't get a little bit of chip damage on me. Don't want to provoke that Berserker. I could have Cormac use a sword, but... How much damage do they do to him if he uses a sword? Not much. Might actually not be a bad idea to do that. I just want those Wyvern Riders to suicide into us. Because if there's too many of them and I can't handle them, then the NPCs are probably going to die. Though I do have 3 mounted characters on hand to rescue them if it ever gets that bad. I'll soon have a 4th. Oh, right. Yeah, speaking of which. Yeah, Cyrena's there, and there are these druids. Luna only has 70 hit, and she has... Okay, if 2 of them hit her with Luna, she will die, but She should be okay where she is for one more turn. Obviously not going to use the Sword Reaver against... Okay, here's where I might need to use Tethys. And here's where Garrick's awesomeness is showing, the fact that he actually doubles these paladins, even with a hand axe. See how much loot does to... Of course loot gets doubled! And there's no way Ross can one-shot that thing, is there? But can loot kill off that? No, she can't. Okay, I need to kill that thing, otherwise Ross is gonna die, so... Also need to pay attention to those... Oh, they won't be able to reach from here. The Tomahawk still doesn't quite do it. 1 damage off, really? Well, at least the Killer Axe is... There's the crit. Is... light enough for him to use it with his Berserker Con, is what I was going to say. And now I can just go ahead and use this, and this will definitely heal him up to full. Which is why I gave her that. And now... Don't think that Valkyrie is ever going to be able to kill Tethys, so... Not using that, obviously. Unfortunately, this Valkyrie is not going to die this turn. Let's go... Ah, no crit. Oh, well, that Valkyrie's not really going to be much of a threat at this point. Doesn't even have a staff. Of course, don't want them all piling into Joshua, so I'd probably rather he use the weaker weapon here. And just let them come to him for now. Now, Amelia, she's going to get into a position where, because these guys eventually break over this snag, she's going to get into a position where she can get on that mountain, because she can actually traverse mountains now, despite being mounted. Oh, these NPCs are blocking Ephraim's path slightly. Now I just need to hope that Cyrene doesn't die. Well, Tana's doing a decent job of not dying so far. You aren't the enemy that I'm worried about, though. You are an enemy that I'm kind of worried about. As one hit. As one critical. This guy actually has exactly enough health to survive anything but a double crit. And the thing is, I didn't want a double crit. This is the one time where I did not want a double crit. Because this means that a second hero can attack Joshua, and he gets hit a second time. Uh-oh. Joshua might suffer death by being too awesome if I get too lucky, which is a very weird way for someone to die. But yes, Joshua may die due to being too lucky. Well, the only ones that can attack him now are... Oh, they can't even attack him. Good. And this is what I was hoping they'd do. Even though they're not going to die to this. This does mean they're not attacking the NPCs at the very least. And they are in range of Ross and Garrick now, I think. I hope that Berserker doesn't move, though. Now, Pierce and/or crit, please. Well, there's a crit. She crit all 3 times so far. Getting a lot of crits this turn. Although what I'm really worried about at this point is Cyrene. When I was practicing this, I had Tana recruit her on the second turn, so I'm not actually used to her having to endure all 3 of those druids. Still kind of has to, because otherwise they can reach the NPCs. Okay, strength is good, strength is good. Extra speed is also good. And more Wyvern Riders incoming, including the Wyvern Lord. Please don't die. Oh, that's terrible. Well, there's Luna working its magic for you. Okay, she's okay. She's okay, at least for now. Now I need to worry about that Wyvern Lord getting to the NPCs. Ross getting hit twice there is unfortunate. Uh-oh. I did not expect her to move. Well, Erica and Ephraim are in position to block off this area, but let's just... Obviously, these two Wyvern Riders need to die right now. The real question, though, is this Wyvern Lord, is he a major threat to us? 33. He could be a major threat to us. I'd rather Cormag be the only one to fight him. Except his movement range is so enormous that I doubt that'll happen. Except I think I have to retreat Tana this turn to recruit Cyrene anyway, because I don't trust her NPC Itis at this point. I've never seen her move away from this place, so this is starting to worry me already. Firstly, though, I can do You Have Nosferatu. And that's not going to be quite enough. I might have to use Ephraim against this one. Except I don't like the idea of Erica getting attacked by... Yeah, the Wyvern Lord. How much hit rate do you have against Eric? 41. That's still pretty bad. Okay, maybe I fight off these things first. Good thing I have Teddies down here, I just realized, because that I kind of need to use Teddies for this. Except I need to also get out of range of the Berserker, otherwise I may lose the Dragon Shield. That's not exactly the most reliable thing. Actually, if I healed Ross up, which I probably need to do anyway. Although if all the Wyverns pile on Ross, and his defense isn't terrible, but... So I actually need to hand axe that guy somehow. Otherwise the NPCs are definitely dead. Might as well use Ross. Are you serious? Are you serious? That's like a 99 in true hit, isn't it? Well, that just complicated things. That seriously was around a 99% or something. Oh, and you're actually not going to die to Tana. I think I actually have to hold off on... That's not in Berserker range, is it? Please tell me that is in Berserker range. It's not, which is good. But yes, now Cormag has to kill this thing. This time actually using the Dragon Spear. But, wow, 91 missing, really? So Ephraim needs to destroy this Druid, and this is overkill, but I really, really, really want this Druid dead now. Or I could have Ephraim Javelin that one, and then I could have Erica try and lock off here. The Wyvern Lord won't be able to reach her. Because if she takes one step forward, then she will get attacked by that, so... But if this area isn't sealed off, then obviously the NPCs are going to get killed by the Druids. Just don't want to run the risk of this thing hitting Erica with Nosferatu. And I kind of want the Luna one to die just in case he tries to attack people who he poses a danger to, namely Cyrene. And I mean, Cyrene's not really in any real danger, but still. Equipping this just for the evasion. I doubt that guy's going to attack in melee range, so it probably won't matter in terms of the damage. And now I need to heal Joshua, which is what I have men for. And now the only heroes left are axe users, so Joshua should be okay. Don't want to speak too soon, but he should be fine. Yeah, that's not a very high hit rate. I can get even more, I can probably afford to use the Killing Edge now. Yeah, of course, I don't crit when I'm using the kill- and I get hit anyway. Well, that's at least one dead hero. Yeah, my luck is still continuing to be the same as always. There's chapters like this where you need a lock in all ranges button because I want to know when the NPCs... Yeah, I think the NPCs are safe for this turn. As long as Amelia stands on this mountain and equips a javelin, all 3 of these enemies will die trying to attack her, so I'm not really that worried about them in terms of posing a threat to the NPCs. If I go there, I probably have to equip an axe, otherwise... Oh, but those have the same hit rate anyway. Or I could go for overkill. Let's try the axe. My god, really? I was just thinking to myself that if Garrick misses this, Ross is probably dead. And I can't refresh Garrick with Teddies. 19, 9, 10. And I just established that Loot can't kill this Valkyrie. Oh. Just really hate it when I just have so much instances of bad luck or when it really matters. Well, I guess we'll see how this turn goes. And I think I forgot to move Rennick in an earlier turn. Okay, you're the one with the Brave Axe. Oh, even if you hit twice, you wouldn't kill him. So I didn't have anything to worry about here. And gone. Like I said, those heroes aren't really a priority, but I like dealing with them early just so that they aren't an issue later. Also, he got that much earlier on Erica's route. And there's a Brave Axe, which will obviously be useful later, but not so much now. If I can get Garrick all the way up to a B in axes... Oh, I was... Again, I thought that was Cormag for a second. I'm going to be getting their sprites confused a lot now. This is probably one of the only advantages to promoting Tana to a Falcon Knight, is that you stop confusing her with Cormag. Would have been even worse if I'd made Cormag a Wyvern Knight as well. Then I would have got even more confused by their sprites. Especially since the two of them are really, really different, so one of them having much, much more strength and the other being much more evasive. So which one of them is getting attacked is a really big deal. Anyway, like I said, these mages are not much of a problem. Hey, an extra Guiding Ring. I like that they give you a lot of them as drops, even ignoring the stealable ones, because there are a lot of classes that require those. And I think you get doubled as well. Or I could miss an 89. Nice one. Sorry if I sound a bit angry here, but just really, I've had some pretty appalling luck in this chapter. Well, that missed anyway. So that was fine. We're going to be seeing more druids soon, though. That, I'm not too worried about, actually. Alright, I need to kill these wyverns. Oh, crap. Okay, wait. Yeah, so like I said, we're going to be seeing more druids. So, I have exactly 3 people in the vicinity here. Each one needs to kill 1 wyvern. Otherwise, these NPCs are going to die. Is that possible? That is the question. Okay, Cormag can destroy you. The real question is, can Tana kill one of them? Because she needs to. Tana can kill one of them. Also, we got a couple more of them coming here. But yeah, given that Tana can now kill one of them, this shouldn't be that bad. And I can leave this Berserker alone as well. Now, what option does Ross have that gives the you don't double? That's not good, because I need that guy to die, and if I move Garrick up there, the Berserker's going to be provoked. Well, this is not good. How much speed do you have? No, Ross needs a couple more speed in order to... Wait a minute, you got effectively 9. If Ross had 1 more speed, he'd be... Actually, Yeah. Ah! I do have one use left of this killer axe, but that'd be banking on a critical. And I have warp, but not rescue. Rescue is what I kind of need right now, because I don't want this berserker to be provoked before I'm ready to steal his item. Tana can actually kill the Wyvern Lord, though, too. If Tana can kill the Wyvern Lord, and Ross can go there, and most likely kill that one, I think I have a better way of doing this. Okay, my hit rate is good. Oh, I can't miss either of these 90s, come on. And I'm kind of surprised she hasn't been getting hitting. I am getting luckier in that regard, Tana not getting hit. I am fine breaking my steel lance like that. Yeah, so Ross can go there, that's good. Because now, Cormag can just destroy this one with the Dragon Spear, even though he doesn't really need it, but still. Yeah, this chapter is really all about getting rid of the flyers before they can form a threat to the NPCs, or just rescuing all of the NPCs. But, okay, please tell me that... Okay, I actually do double this one, so that's fine. And able to try out that Tomahawk, which... Random trivia, for some very weird reason, the Tomahawk was an enemy-only weapon in FE6. There are actually a lot of enemy-only weapons in FE6. I'm not 100% sure, but I think Fenrir was enemy-only in that one as well. Fun fact, Fenrir was actually called Nosferatu in the Japanese version. They swapped its name around with the draining spell, I guess because that made a bit more sense. And then it made less sense when Nosferatu became light magic in Path of Radiance, because it was kind of always... Well, it originated as a cleric spell in Gaiden, so that's why. It was called Resire in Japanese, which I'm not even sure what it's supposed to mean, if anything. It probably doesn't mean much. Considering the healing staves in Japanese had kind of weird names like Live, Relive, Libro. So, things should be a lot smoother from here. I don't want to speak too soon, but they should be. I can just have Garrick stand here with the Iron Axe. That Berserker's fine. These two are probably just going to suicide themselves. And if I have Erica fight this Druid, she's not, well, hopefully not going to die, because what I want to do is I want to have Ephraim on this wood equipping a Javelin. That usually kills all three of these Druids. Thankfully, well, there's one Nosferatu, one Flux, and one Luna, but yeah, Luna's hit rate is so bad that it doesn't really matter that much. Although, I still don't like the idea of Erica getting hit there, because if that happens, then... Wait a minute, so you get dropped down to 2 HP, you heal 22, putting you at 24, and then you die to the follow-up attack. Actually, even if she does get hit, the Druid will still die. That's good. Which is exactly what happened. And by the way, I was silent there because the twins' ultimate weapons have their own music. The other Sacred Twins don't. It's just the two main characters' legendary weapons that get their own battle theme. Blazing Sword had something similar to that with the ultimate weapons in the last chapter. Oh yeah, right, I missed you. That was what happened. Guess I should just stay on the mountain just because. Didn't miss that time, obviously, which is a good thing. And that gives me a spell that Luna's probably never going to be able to use. Even Soleil gets severely weighed down by that. I can just move you back one space and get you healed. So I just mentioned the reinforcements that come from those lower forts are warriors, which is great for training your sword users. Especially sword masters, because their hit rates against warriors are pretty much non-existent. I wonder which way, because originally I lured him this way and stole from him, but at this point, there are more reinforcements in this area, so Renek's probably in more danger if he goes up this way. And Well, I can't actually refresh Renek's movement anyway, so might as well do this then. Neither of you have javelins, so I guess I'm safe having Luke just go up there and get heals. Well, and heal someone. I don't know why I said get heals. I mean, she does need to get healed, but she'll be the one doing the healing for now. Hi there. And you're gonna get doubled and die. And criticals. That's good, one less Wyvern for the NPCs to have to deal with, and from this point on, the Wyvern Rider reinforcements come from the very top of the mountain, so they're never going to actually reach the NPCs. And yay, Ross has access to a legendary weapon that provides +5 speed, which is really going to help him. That's also helpful, because it saves the use of the Tomahawk, which is quite a valuable weapon. Wouldn't have used it if it wasn't the only thing that would reliably kill. Yeah, the hand axe had over a 90% hit rate and would have killed if both attacks had hit, but you know my luck with 90% hit rates, so I wasn't going to go for it. So there are going to be reinforcements from these forts and from above, alternating across turns. It's every 2 turns. We also get more druids every 2 turns. So the reinforcements in this chapter, for the most part, are very repetitive. That's part of why I said the chapter gets boring eventually. We'll be seeing the same group of druids, the same group of cavaliers, the same group of wyvern riders for the next several turns. So, yeah, be warned about that. The warriors are proximity triggered though, so we won't have to deal with them for a little bit. And these guys are probably not going to pose a threat to Ephraim. He only has so many uses left of that javelin though. Also, these promoted enemies are a pretty good place to train the twins now they've been promoted themselves. Yeah, I thought that was a 0. So in this game, obviously, enemies are programmed to just go for the maximum damage and not even care about hit rate. Which they usually did in FE4 with Ced, but sometimes they didn't. Sometimes they just ignored him. Surprised he didn't get strength there. That's not a bad hit rate, all things considered, considering your brethren in this turn, but you're still gone. Now, the way I lured the Berserker last time involved Erica, and that's kind of worrying because... What are you doing? I'm gonna stop that right now. You, get in my army and stop being stupid. Don't know why she was doing that. So like I said, you can also recruit Cyrene with Vanessa. She's actually Vanessa's sister, by the way. Or Innes. I'm very glad you're ours to command, because otherwise you might have run off and been stupid. So, this is Cyrene. Cyrene joins very late. So late, in fact, that she is the last playable character to join during the main story. She's a level 1 pre-promoted Falcon Knight with relatively decent but not amazing base stats for her level. And alright growths all around too, besides defense and having kinda low luck for a Pegasus Knight. She also has 1 more point of con than a Falcon Knight Vanessa or Tana would have. And if she joined earlier in the game, she'd probably be very good, but the issue is... yeah, it's now chapter 17 in a game that only has 20 main story chapters. By this point, you're very likely to have trained Vanessa, Tana, and or Cormag. And all of them will be stronger flyers than her by this point if trained. Also, all 3 of them are available far longer than she is. If you really do need an extra flyer, Cyrene is, I guess, kind of decent for that. It's just a shame she's really let down by her severely late join time. And that 1 point of con advantage only applies if Vanessa or Tana don't become Wyvern Knights, which would give them better con than her anyway. Well, I guess now that we have Cyrene, we can actually do the triangle attack. Yes, it exists in this game. I'll be showing it off in extra footage. But time to finally explain something that I alluded to in Tana's bio. You perform the triangle attack by surrounding an enemy with Vanessa, Tana, and Cyrene, and having one of them attack. this will give the attacker a guaranteed critical hit. However, if one of them is a Wyvern Knight, only the Wyvern Knight is allowed to initiate the attack. I know it's weird, but it's what happens. And if both Vanessa and Tana are Wyvern Knights, you can't perform the triangle attack at all. Not that this really applies much to Cyrene herself, but it's a pretty nice bit of trivia. Also random trivia is that Cyrene often gets called Selena in support conversations, because the two names are very easy to mix up in Japanese. And I'll just have you fly right back or near a healer, because I obviously do not want you flying around with 9 HP left. Let's see if she can get somewhere onto that bridge. Or around there, that works. And yeah, even as a playable character, Cyrene looks a lot like an NPC. You know, I guess if I wanted to show off the triangle attack, I could have brought Vanessa to this chapter, but it's not really necessary. I might show that off in a skirmish, but it's not really all that useful. It's more of just a fun gimmick. And there's a few restrictions involving it that I also want to discuss when I show it off in the skirmish. Though, because as of this point, I haven't recorded Cyrene's bio, so I might actually end up talking about it in the bio itself. That is going to kill you. Also, you have a pretty sizable crit rate. Yeah, so the main thing I'm worried about is that guy critting Erica, because obviously that would not be good. Now, there is a Sword Master over there, but I want to be careful because when you get very close to Leon, that triggers the warrior reinforcement spawns, and I might want more people down here just to grind a little bit off of them. I would grind Erica off of them, but I don't know if I'm going to be using her seriously later on. And I kind of need Ross around here. Really the one who needs grinding is Loot, but obviously not really the best idea to have Loot fighting some very strong enemies physically. I'm actually going to send Cormac down here. And Teddy's can't refresh him. There is a reason for this. Because he has a sword, so technically I can grind him against the sword warriors. Not enough for a level up, though. Okay, good, you're not in range of Ross. And I need to heal Erica. Probably going to have to physic her. 2 uses left on that javelin, which means I'm not really going to be able to fight those druids as effectively. As for Amelia, I think she can just go back around here, because I might need her to also fight some of the druids. Actually, you stay back here for a bit, because I want to physic you. And these Wyvern Riders are going to proceed to be massive idiots. Garrick's not actually killing them, though. Maybe I should have given him a Steel Axe. He can actually use those pretty effectively. They'd raise his weapon rank faster, too. Why didn't I think to do that? But yeah, a lot of the heavier weapons have more weapon experience. I think I've discussed this before, probably because you'll be double attacking less with them, so to compensate for that, but that led people to believe that... Hi there. That led people to believe that Loot doubles those things. That's actually pretty cool. Like I was saying, that led people to believe that higher weight meant more weapon experience, so people would actually forge weapons with higher weight in Path of Radiance and hope that that would give better weapon experience, and it obviously doesn't. So yeah, like I said, for now we've entered the relatively boring reinforcement zone. Please get a good level up here. Really? Yeah, the RNGs hasn't been that kind on Garrick this playthrough. I think Loot should be pretty safe if she's on this mountain. Even then, if she only gets hit by one enemy, that's fine. I like how female sages look in terms of their battle sprites, though. That's good. Let's hope that you finally start becoming what you should be. Though it's a little bit late by now. Erica. What a physic Erica. And I think that Berserker's chances of hitting Erica on that armory are like 10 or less. But, I mean, given my luck, it could still potentially hit and critical. Okay, Natasha might not be that bad against the Druids. The problem is the Lunar Druids. Having 25 resistance means ignoring that is a very big deal. Alright, Tana's here. Guess she can fight the Druids too. The joys of having mounted lords, having them being able to just cross vast distances easily. Might want to continue having Ephraim here just to fight off some more Druids. There's quite a few waves of these Druids, actually. Oh, and might as well... Actually, let me check something. Which ones have Luna? That guy's got Luna. He can't get there. Oh, you have 7 uses left on your Javelin. Might as well do that. Alright, I obviously want Rennick in the area when I try and swipe that Dragon Shield. Almost called it a Draco Shield for a second there, but yeah, inconsistent terminology between games in the series. Yeah, that's probably not gonna be a threat to her, even if more of these guys spawn. See, when Luke consistently doubles things, she's actually pretty amazing. Doesn't take much more than basic fire to completely wreck everything with how good her magic is. And that should be all the Javelin uses. Am I going to be equipping Sigmund now? Because I did try and use that against an enemy, so maybe he is going to be equipping Sigmund. Not sure. Yes, I am. Thankfully, we don't get the... Also, Sigmund's now turned into a very mundane-looking lance. But yeah, it would be weird if you got the... Okay, I'm glad that you did that, because I didn't want to waste Sigmund against you. Has Tana been hit at all this entire chapter? Now that I think about it, I don't think so. And more Wyverns. Yeah, Ephraim needs the experience more, so also not doing that. But yeah, like I was saying, you don't get... Also, there's Ephraim's critical animation. Don't think I've shown Ephraim's melee promoted animation too. I find it very, very weird. You'll see why the next time, and I'm also finding it weird that you're not getting strength. I mean, 19 is still pretty good. Okay, so let me just check this. 24 and 9 crit. The armory is 10 avoid, so that's 14. Except Sieglinde will kill you, so that's not what I'm going to go for. 14 hit and 9 crit. Should be fine. Actually, wait, I gotta make sure that Rennick can steal next turn. Yeah, he'll be able to. But how much crit does Erica herself have? 13! Yeah, if Erica crits him, then I lose that Draco Shield. How much crit? You only have 7 crit. 23 luck. 27 critical. And a 1-use Armor Slayer. This is actually kind of weird. As much as I would like to use Erica here, Amelia might actually be the better option just because she has less chance of outright killing that thing. Probably have to think about fighting this Swordmaster soon. Oh, and don't forget Rennick, obviously. And this is about where Ross goes on top of this peak, showing off his new Berserker skills, and everything dies. Though I still would have liked better level ups from Garrick. I mean, I could try and have Loot fight those, but I don't really want to take that risk. Okay, let's see about having these two down here. Might even try and grind Erica a bit on those warriors. Does anybody here need Physic? Not, like, urgently or anything, so... Oh, actually, Tethys needs healing. But I can do that without Physic. So we are slowly approaching the boss, so one thing that I will show is once we do get to the boss, how easy it is to just rush to him and kill him with the twins' newfound weapons. Okay, I just realized the flaw in this plan. I now have to kill the Berserker. Okay, I'm glad for 20 strength, which now makes you stronger than Ephraim for some reason. Although he's a few levels lower than you. No hit rate! Yeah, this is why mountains are awesome. Or peaks in this case, which are even better versions of mountains. And now you can finally make use of them ourselves. Revenge for all those bandits who sat on peaks earlier in the game. That was back in Ross's joining chapter too. And more druids. And more cavaliers. So firstly, thankfully you don't have a full inventory, so... Give me... No. Didn't really want that anyway. Give me your dragon shield. Now, is the problem. I mean, actually, Amelia doesn't do too badly with lances against that thing, but I kind of want her to go back and, I know that's a waste of Sieglinde, but I just don't want to run the risk of getting hit by 12 in criticals. Also, yeah, look at Erica's animations. This is why I said Erica's horse is obviously an ancestor of Seaghorse, because seriously, the Nomad Trooper horses in the Elib games are also pretty acrobatic, but Erica's horse really takes it when it comes to horse acrobatics. Here need healing? Not really. Alright, let's just do some more fire, which I'm going to run out of soon, it looks like. But at this point we can use Thunder without penalty, so might as well switch to Thunder from now on. And I guess it's probably better for experience to let this one attack Loot. Oh, Pig is also 2 defense, which is helpful. Guess I can refresh you. And not really do all that much. I do want to keep you away from Luna. And yeah, I guess the Luna Tome is referencing the Luna or Moonlight in Japanese skill. Being one that ignores defense, makes sense that they'd call a tome that ignores resistance that. Yeah, these druids are all kind of useless. And there are a lot of them, and they're not that hard to kill, so they do make for decent training. Just like some other reinforcements that we're going to be seeing kind of soon. Yeah, see this animation right here? It's just like, Ephraim's horse is just like, wait, 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 now! It just feels like a kind of weird animation to have. More of you. There will be a slight change in reinforcements kind of soon. Guess I can javelin this guy. But for the most part, the reinforcements in this chapter stay pretty similar throughout. No strength there, but your speed is getting pretty good. It's one more than your boyfriend will ever have. That better not... Well, Ephraim saved it because he's just that awesome. I mean, he wasn't in any danger anyway, but still. Like I said, later on in this chapter, there's really not all that much else to say. In fact, just in desperation to have something to talk about, let's look at the armory. Oh, hey, we can buy Killing Edges here and Lance Reavers. That's pretty cool. Axe Reaver, Killer Lance. There's some pretty nice weapons you can get out of this one. I probably need another Killer Axe for Ross, especially now that he's a Berserker. Obviously, don't want to be doing that with Erica, though, because we have someone with a silver card who can shop there. The joys of half-price items. That's a very, very cheap Killing Edge. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get a Killer Axe. And might as well get another few Killing Edges. Though the Lance Reaver is kind of expensive. But I actually don't have one of them. I might save getting a Lance Reaver for before Chapter 19. Chapter 19 has some pretty annoying Lance users, so... And you guys are just gonna follow the same old thing. Gotta remember that that is a Killing Edge Sword Master, but as long as I send someone with decent defense his way, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. Reminds me of that one time where I was playing Path of Radiance, I think for the first time as well, and I got freaked out by a Brave Swordmaster in one of the later chapters, and then he attacked me, and it was like, no damage, miss, no damage, miss. So this is the change in reinforcements I was talking about, and this might be kind of bad for loot. So there's now a Great Knight and a Paladin spawning here. The Great Knight has a silver axe, and the Paladin has a silver sword. This, however, is what Garrick Zanbato is for. I'm going to have to be careful of those Wyvern Riders, though. Don't want too many of them to spawn, otherwise they might potentially slip through us and get to the NPCs. But anyway, that guy would have been dangerous to loot if I'd left him. Well, you're not doubling loot, at least. Yeah, Thunder doesn't reduce your evasion, might as well go for Thunder. I'm gonna need the Sword Reaver against this guy. Except, I don't want Luke to get hit by two things in the same turn, so... I wonder if I can just use the Iron Axe on you. Alright, let me see how much Ephraim does. Obviously, I'm not going to go here, because that's directly in range of 24. That 24 is nothing. And that was even out of Tana's support range, so he's probably going to take even less here. Advancing kind of carefully. Though I could actually put you there and not have much of a problem. Just realized that I could technically try and silence Leon, although with how high his resistance is, I doubt it would even do anything. More experience, I guess? Okay, now the warrior reinforcements may start soon. So I'm going to get ready for that. Because they usually start when you get relatively close to the boss. And you, yeah. With that low of a hit rate, if you don't see the critical animation, they probably missed. Also, Ephraim is doubling Swordmasters. This is why he deserved a better speed cap, Intelligent Systems. I mean, it would have made him totally superior to Erica in every conceivable way, but still, it's not like he wasn't already. Good dodge there. I always, like, back when I used to make a list of, like, gameplay-wise, my favorite to least favorite lords, I always thought that Ephraim would have been a lot higher up if his speed cap was higher. See, he's one point off capping speed, and he's only level 4 Great Lord. I mean, like I said, a higher speed cap wouldn't really be that necessary, but it would still be kind of cool. And he has the potential to... probably has the potential to even reach 30 speed. But yeah, the warrior reinforcements have started now. So this is the point where I'm probably going to be either speeding up or maybe even cutting ahead, because this is going to get very repetitive. The warriors come for 5 turns after this. So that's a lot of warriors. And they're all exactly the same. So no real reason to keep showing them. Speaking of almost capping stuff, Cormag is getting close to capping strength. I suppose you need the promoted kills. And you need Thunder. Thankfully, you didn't miss that 89. Come on, Metis' Tome, do your work. I think it's working. I think it's actually working. That's good. Admittedly, it's just putting up to loot up to the level that she really should be. She should have more than 14 speed by this point. But that magic is getting back on track too. She was getting a little bit screwed in that area as well. Yeah, you go back there. Oh, right. They can both get to loot. She's on a mountain. At least I can block off one side of her. I don't think this will end in disaster, because I could just kill the boss now and end this. Speaking of which, yeah, so this boss, he hits very, very hard, but everyone doubles him, and with your new Sacred Twin weapons, it should be very, very easy to... That leaves him on 1 HP, but still, it should be very, very easy to beat him. So... you can quite easily rush to him and end this chapter pretty quickly, but I'm going to drag this out a bit longer. Yeah, despite the huge amounts of damage that he does, he's really not all that impressive as a boss. I'd have you go there in case I want to buy some more stuff from this shop. Obviously, I don't want him to attack Teddy's, though, because that would be bad. Guess I can show his battle quotes just by putting Natasha in his range. You're just going to stay there in case I need to emergency rescue any of the NPCs. They need to heal Cormag at some point as well, because he got kind of unlucky and got hit there. Okay, you're not blocking the fort anymore, so the reinforcements will spawn. This isn't one of those games where if you're blocking a reinforcement point, they'll spawn anyway, but, like, somewhere else. Like, right next to where they were supposed to spawn. In this one, if you're blocking your fort, the reinforcement just won't come out. And I want these reinforcements to come out of the forts because I want their experience, so glad that that warrior died before he could block off that fort. Aha! Lute can use Excalibur now. That's actually going to be pretty handy. I think she is my only S-rank anime user, so I might need her in the final battle regardless. As not great of a prospect as that is, considering how unlucky she's been. I was silent for that because that battle theme is amazing. It's called The Prince's Despair. Yes, Possessed Leon gets his own battle theme, and I love how it's a dramatic rearrangement of his actual cutscene theme. It's just, I always love it when games do things like that. But yeah, that's the Prince's Despair. And all the battle themes in this game are fantastic, but that one in particular. For now, though, I'm probably going to have to stop attacking him because I want to leave his... Well, I want to leave this chapter open so I can get a little bit more experience out of the warriors. Now, as you'd expect, he does have special boss conversations with both Erica and Ephraim. Something interesting that I found out, though, when I was testing this, is that I had a feeling that was going to miss. Is that most websites only list his Erica route boss conversations. His boss conversations with the twins are actually different on Ephraim's, which, like I said, most websites don't list. So, the ones I'm going to be showing here might be different to ones you may read online. I might show the Erica ones in bonus footage because I have to get past this chapter on Erica's route anyway, because I need to show a cutscene from Erica chapter 18. Anyway, it's about the point of monotonous warrior reinforcement grinding, so here's about where I'll either be cutting ahead or speeding up. I think that's the last of the promoted mounted reinforcements. Wait a minute, I might have a solution to this. If she goes as far as she can... See, this is why Physic is really, really useful to have. Because, yeah, the warrior's hit rate is kind of high. I don't want to take the risk of Cormac getting hit again. Please tell me that's in range. Yeah, that's easily in range. Okay, that could have been bad. Like I said, Physic is really useful to have. Just in case situations like that happen. Okay, speed's not bad, but I'd like more strength. Well, there's the sword crit animation for Wyvern Lords. The sword kind of turned into a windmill for a second. Once again, more spinning. The GBA games love spinning in criticals. That was a great level, too. Cormac has missed a lot of 78 or 79s. Really? Wow. And that's the last of the warriors. Fittingly, the victory is near thing kicks in now. I'm surprised you haven't ranked up your swords after that. But anyway, you didn't happen to get any supports, did you? Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay then. So, time to finish this guy off. So, firstly, I obviously want to show his boss conversation with Erica. That's going to be a bit of a waste of that weapon. She does have enough health, even though she's going to be doing pathetic damage. So yeah, like I said, this one is different on Erica's route. Very different. So yeah, later on I might show off what that is on Erica's route. Fenrir looks pretty cool. Oh wow, nice crit there. So much for I don't want to fight you. I might as well not drag this out any longer. Actually, have I got any supports now? Oh, Erica can support with Seth, but Seth isn't here right now. So if you do reduce him to low health, he may switch to Nosferatu, so that will let you get Fenrir, but I'm not really sure why you'd want Fenrir. I don't think its power is worth all bait. So that one's also different on Erica's route. And this song is still really amazing. That's all he has to say. And Ephraim's now capped your speed stat. And we have another Nosferatu. This line is different if you're on Erica's route. He addresses Erica instead. Other than that, this cutscene is pretty much the exact same. Even this line from Ephraim is still on Erica's route. Oh, and this scene, of course, he addresses Erica in this scene, but the general gist of it is the same on Erica's route. I'm saying this because I don't intend to show off all the cutscenes for Erica's route on this chapter. The next chapter, though, I might. Because that's where it starts diverging a lot. Oh, that generic Freilian messenger we've seen so many times. And so with that, we have Freilia's Sacred Twins. Yes, for some reason, the Grotto Empire didn't destroy the two ultimate weapons of destruction that Frelia had. They're just like, oh yeah, let's just leave them here. It's not like they're going to be used against us later. A bow and a lance. Obviously, it should be clear who those are meant for. Nidhogg actually showed up in Awakening, I believe, as well. I mean, admittedly, there aren't that many legendary bows in the series, so... It's really that, the Parthia, and the double bow from Tellius, and that's all I can really oh, the one from FE6, I guess. So yeah, we get Nidhogg, which obviously comes from Norse mythology. Luck plus 5 is a pretty bad boost, but it makes up for it by being very powerful. And Vidofnir, also from Norse mythology. Defense plus 5 is pretty decent, more, I guess, tailored for Pegasus Knights than Wyvern Riders, but both can use this pretty decently, and very, very strong, and, of course, also effective against monsters. And we have an extra scene here if we saved all of the villagers. Not too hard to do if you manage to intercept all of the Wyvern Riders. For that, we get a Rescue Staff, which is effectively a second Warp Staff. Only has 3 uses, though. So it moves an ally to a space adjacent to the caster. What this is meant to be used for is getting people out of dangerous situations if you make a bad move or something like that. But what it actually ends up being used for is having Rescue Staff users charge ahead of the rest of your army and pulling people into them, using it to cross vast distances of the map in short amounts of time. Essentially uses a secondary Warp Staff. Thankfully, it's not E-ranked in this game. I don't know why Awakening made it an E-rank staff. Anyway, though, that's that for that chapter. Chapter 18 is, like I said, one that does diverge a lot on the route, so I'll be showing other cutscenes in that one. Also, Chapter 18 introduces a new type of enemy, and it's one that's very deadly. So, see you then. So, I've reloaded a save from this chapter to show off the triangle attack, but something else that I want to mention first. Remember when I said that fighting these heroes early wasn't really a big priority? I was actually wrong. The heroes try and cross this river to get at your army from behind, and can potentially come up here and form a threat to these NPCs, so actually fighting them early like I did is probably the best course of action. But enough about that. Now I want to talk about the triangle attack. This guy's going to be our willing victim for this one, because he just killed the NPC who was standing there, so I obviously want revenge. So, to do the triangle attack, simply surround the enemy with the Pegasus Knights. One on each side, And I can only show the triangle attack for Tana in this playthrough because, like I've said, if one of them is a Wyvern Knight, only they can initiate the triangle attack. And if two of them are Wyvern Knights, you can't do the triangle attack at all. Now, I have a perfect hit rate with everything. So yeah, I won't be able to demo the fact that the triangle attack is actually a guaranteed hit, but I guess I'll show it off now. So you actually get a special quote for the triangle attack. All three of them have their own unique line, but I'm not able to show Vanessa or Cyrene's because I promoted Tana to Wyvern Knight. So you get a bit of a different animation, as well as an attack that's a guaranteed hit and a guaranteed critical. That's really all it is, though, so it's not really the best thing, and it's not really worth going out of your way for, but it's still kind of a fun gimmick. So, that's all I wanted to show here, basically.